Okay, so to start off, we're gonna make the homemade ricotta. I poured in 2 1-liter bottles of whole milk and half a teaspoon of salt. Turn the heat on and cook at about medium. Highest is medium heat here. Depending on your stove, you might even want to go medium-low. So occasionally stirring it, keeping an eye on how it looks. I don't want this to boil. Once it starts to be really foamy and a lot of steam and bubbles around the edges of the pot, as you can see here, that's the indicator it's ready to put in the acid. So you're either going to use lemon juice or vinegar. You're going to turn down the heat all the way to low, and then I poured in 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. And then I'm just going to gently agitate it. As you can see here, now the curds are going to separate from the whey, that liquid, and that's going to be the ricotta. Then you're going to turn off your heat, and you're going to cover it and let it sit for about 20 minutes or so. Okay, now after 20 minutes, I'm going to ladle out that ricotta. Typically, I would use a cheesecloth here, but I could not find mine. So I just have a clean dishcloth. I've put it in a strainer and then put a bowl underneath the strainer. So after ladling all that out, just gonna put it on the side and save that for when you are assembling your lasagna later. Tried a piece, it was delicious. So now I've got some olive oil, 2 to 3 cloves of chopped garlic, half of a white onion. I've put in some eggplant here. I really like a bunch of different veggies in lasagna. I don't think it needs to just be meat, cheese. I think a nice variety of veggies goes really well in it. So I've added some oregano, some parsley, salt, pepper, just any spices that you like in Italian food here. Okay, so I've added in ground pork, ground beef, and a little bit of tomato paste. So now for what I love in my lasagna, I love a chopped red pepper sauteed in there. And then I like a really nice briny, salty flavor, kind of like a pasta puttanesca flavor. So I've chopped a handful of green olives. I've got some Kalamata olives and some chopped capers. I've put in 1 jar of pre-made pasta sauce, but I think the pasta sauces here tend to be quite sweet. Probably most jarred pasta sauces are. I like to add 1 jar of passata, or just kind of like blended tomatoes. So I feel like that kind of dilutes the sweetness a little bit there. And I also added some paprika. So now I'm gonna mix mozzarella cheese with the ricotta and some kind of powdered Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper, and a little bit of basil. So it's time to assemble the lasagna. I've got that delicious sauce at the bottom, layer of noodles. These are no-boil noodles. Those are typically the ones that I find all over the city where I live and on the app that's like Amazon, Taobao. That's what's the easiest for me to find. So I'm gonna layer sauce, noodles, the ricotta and cheese mixture, another layer of noodles. My cat thinks that I'm getting her a treat or something. She's just going crazy during this process. So here we've got just as many layers as you can fit in your Pyrex. Mine is not that deep, but this time I really pushed the boundaries. I had it right up to the top. I like to finish with sauce on top, and then I will grate a little bit of Parmesan cheese on that after baking it for about 30 minutes. After putting the Parmesan cheese on top, I'm gonna put it back in the oven and bake it uncovered for another 10 or so minutes. This recipe was really delicious and took about 1 hour from start to finish. If you give this one a try, please let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. For a written recipe, please visit asprinkleofsage.com. Thanks everyone. See you in the next one.